Ignition sequence start. Astronauts report it feels good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. Tower cleared.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for joining our Teachers Tools and Tips live stream. As always, I'm here with Jake, but today we have a special guest, Professor LeMay.
Hello, everybody.
I thought I was the professor.
Oh,
This is the professor idea was like my goof. You gave it to Joe. I put in my name.
Clearly, they would choose one who actually has a graduate credential. That's not fair because I do have credits in graduate school. But and yeah, what was I going to be? The student? Anyway, let's just move on. Move on, please.
Anyway, we're here to go over our new back-to-school tools, as well as give everyone some tips on how you can use them in the classroom. As usual, we invite everyone to call in, ask us your questions about the products, or if you just have any Rocketbook questions in general, call in via that link on the top of the screen at bit.ly/rbteacherlive. So without further delay, let's dive into some of these awesome tools and share some tips on how to use them. We're going to kick things off first with our first notebook dedicated specifically to teachers, the Rocketbook Teacher Planner.
Oh man, this is exciting. This is a long time coming. I know we've had teacher fans of Rocketbook since day one, since our first Kickstarter back in 2015. We've been hearing about Rocketbook in the classroom, and teachers are by far our biggest evangelists out there. And so it feels so good that we finally made a Rocketbook just for teachers. It's the Teacher Planner. Of course, it has lots of planning functionality with templates for weekly, monthly, and 6-month planning. But it also has templates that are designed in conjunction with a number of teachers. We're going to tell you a little bit more about the process here in a minute. But it has things like class schedule, lesson plans, class rosters, and of course, it's reusable for your entire career, semester after semester. It's not dated, and every page is scannable, so you can save it off, and the monthly pages and the weekly pages will stitch together in the PDF, just so that it brings all the dates together. So, Joe, I'm sure you have, as the professor, the resident professor,
yes, as a teacher, as an educator myself, I love this planner, and if you teach, I would bet my tenure that you'll also love this planner, but don't take my word for it. Let's see what some of my other colleagues have to say about this great product. All right. I waste a lot of paper lesson planning, so I was excited to hear when Rocketbook had a teacher planner. I love how there are a myriad of planning sheets as well as some pages for note-taking. I really like the lesson planning pages, though. Just had enough structure, but not too much. Will recommend this to all my teacher friends. Salute, teacher friend.
That's quite the endorsement. Here's another great review that we got. I'm so glad you all, I think I got that right, got teachers to help design this product because it shows. The extra monthly pages are good so I can go longer without erasing. The lesson plans are open-ended enough to not mess up how I structure my plans for each class. So glad you released this, exactly what I was hoping for after you put out the academic planner. So that feels good to hear. But as a last minute addition, we asked Sarita to join us to tell us a little bit more about we figured there's going to be a lot of teachers on the line wondering about our process, how we developed this. And I said, we got to get Sarita to go through this. Welcome.
I appreciate the last minute invite.
Welcome, Sarita. Yeah. So do you want to talk a little bit about our process of developing the teacher planner? I know I was in the office when we had teachers coming through and watching you doing some user studies, but tell us a little bit more about how you put this together with teachers.
Yeah, I'd love to. So first off, I want to mention that teachers are actually very important in developing the academic planner as well. And a ton of the feedback that we got during that process was, when are we getting our own teacher planner? And I had to keep saying soon. But little did they know we were starting to work on it in the background at the same time. So It was really important to us on the product team that we got teachers in to get their direct feedback on these templates as well for this planner. We had multiple iterations of template design reviews with them, making sure to get teacher input from all different grade levels to understand each individual use case throughout different teacher levels. So we landed on a main focus of middle school and high school, mainly because of the way that the weekly template is laid out with the days across the top of the week. That was something really interesting to learn, is that different teachers at different grade levels set up their weekly template differently. So we landed on that one just because of majority rule, but it's definitely applicable to teachers across all grade ranges, which is really exciting.
That's great. That's great. Glad to hear it. And of course, I'm sure applicable for some of those college professors out there like Joe. But check it out. All of our templates are available on. There's images of them on GetRocketbook.com as well as Amazon. Peter, you're usually the expert as to what's on Amazon. I'm assuming that it's up there as well.
Yeah, we have full product images on both GetRocketbook.com and Amazon. And if you're interested in some little in-depth how-tos on each of the templates, head to the Rocketbook Help Center, which is linked on the header of GetRocketbook.com as well. I just want to again plug, please call in if you have any questions. As you've heard, Sarita, it was hugely instrumental in the design of this planner. So if any teachers have questions about it, now's your chance to really learn from the pro. One little tidbit.
What do we got next, Peter?
What?
What do we got next?
Next up.
Sarita, you should hang out though. I bet we're gonna have some detailed questions on the teacher planner because teachers love to ask questions.
Absolutely. I just want to shout out one little feature I love in the teacher planner. I think it's borrowed from the Matrix, is the ruler, both metric and inches on the inside covers. So just super convenient to have on the desk and easy to use whenever you have to measure something. But yeah, let's take it off to our next product. We're talking about Rocketbook filler paper. Why don't you tell us what Rocketbook filler paper is?
Yeah, happy to. I love the filler paper product because I used 3-ring binders a lot as a student. So Rocketbook filler paper is reusable loose leaf pages that fit into your 3-ring binder. It's got smart features on every page, right? Including our smart title bar feature, which is super popular. Smart tag bars also on every page. And of course you can, just like every 3-ring binder, you can remove and rearrange your pages, making it super configurable. Works with every 3-ring binder out there. The holes are completely reinforced, so they're so tear resistant for you as well. Super durable, long lasting, so you can use this over and over, and you're gonna love this product.
Joe, before you finish, we can get right back to this. We have a caller on the line.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Barbara, welcome.
Hi, how are you guys? How everybody doing?
Hey, Barbara.
So great.
Yes, I watch you all the time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for calling in.
Okay. Well, boy, I have too many questions, but I'm only going to take one or two.
Okay.
I love the cloud cards. Okay.
Why do you like them?
Well, I like them because I've been thinking and planning for school, and I plan on using them in case we have to stay home again for a while. And they look small there. I don't know, but just for we won't be in contact with each other, student, teacher. I plan on, I think I can do this. Am I able to put my copy of say it's a test? Can I put that on top of, as long as it's within the black lines, and then take a picture of it and then send out what the test is going to be like? It's not going to be a big long thing. It's going to be more basic. It's going to be a small topic that needs about a paragraph or two to answer.
Yeah.
You can do that?
Yeah, well, all great questions. I'll go through them one at a time. First of all, I can't help but also say that I'm a huge fan of cloud cards. Joe and I typically have a stack under our desk for notes. And if anyone doesn't know, cloud cards they're standard size index card, scannable with the app, and we even have a special mode called study mode, so you can use them to study. Sounds like Barbara's maybe you're learning a new language or something. But to answer your question, Barbara, yes, of course. I think what you were asking was, can you write out a test on the page and then you can scan it to a PDF and then you can send it out to your classroom where they could then,
just there'd be a problem with that.
Yeah, whether they print it out or do it digitally on Google Classroom. Absolutely, it's a great use case for Rocketbook.
Yeah, I use them for everything. I mean, I have them with me in my car, everywhere in the house, Yeah. But as for this is very important, if we get separated, and it's not the same thing. But now with the planner, how many things can you do with the planner? I've gone through it, looked at it, and I'm still sort of up in the air. Is it very involved, or is it something you can work your way into? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do, and I'm sure Sarita will be able to shed some light on this as well. Good. But keep in mind, it is filled with different templates. A lot of it's just standard planning that's sort of built around the teacher's use case. And you don't have to use every section of every page. But Sarita, anything to add there?
Yeah, Barbara, we wanted to keep it as open-ended as possible to make this useful for as many different teachers as we could.
Right.
We recognize that each teacher has their own individual use case and all the different things they need to track. So we included some extra customizable pages in there called a DIY chart. And these you can use just as lined pages, or you could create your own chart with them. So you're tracking grades or parent logs. It's customizable to you, and it can change all the time. There's a really great graphic going on there. But as Jake mentioned, a lot of it is just your traditional weekly page, but we included 9 of them to encompass the full grading cycle.
Oh, that's good.
And then we have some monthly pages in there. And then something I'm really excited about is the lesson planning pages. So this breaks down each section of your lesson plans. You can take all of that extra planning out of your weekly pages and declutter them a little bit. And those were created using actual templates that teachers had submitted. So we tried to create an average of all of them to include all the best parts.
Right. That sounds really good. Yeah, that explains a lot of it. I just thought everything was all about planning and, structuring your lesson, whatever. So I'm glad to hear there are some extra pages that look normal. Am I saying? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, it's a Rocketbook. There's always a place to take notes, but there's also plenty of planning and organization in the book. So, thank you. Thank you for
calling. If you have questions for others too, so thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, thank you.
That's it. Like I said, I have a lot, but that's it.
Thanks, Barbara.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sarita. Where were we? We were talking about filler paper. Before Barbara called in, I couldn't help but smile because I saw Joe struggling to say 3-ring binder, because where Joe and I grew up, it was a Trappa-Keepa. and I'm thinking, Joe, I'm thinking maybe you had hot air balloons on your Trappa-Keeper. Maybe
no way. I think my first Trappa-Keeper, I think, was licensed from like GoBots or something like that. Transformers.
I think they're a thing again too. But anyway, filler paper. It is paper to go in a 3-ring binder or a Trappa-Keepa. There are 3 types of patterns you can get on the pages that you put in there, and you can mix and match. There's line pages, there's graph pages for anything that's hardcore math or construction. A lot of people use our graph page format for. And then of course there is what we understand is one of the most dynamic patterns ever put on a page. It's known as the Epstein grid. It's good for calligraphy, geography, entomology. I always get etymology and entomology confused. One of them is bugs, one of them is words. But anyway, great for all that. And yeah, you can get any of those patterns. We have a starter pack and a variety pack. The starter pack is 18 line pages. Variety is a variety pack of line, dot, grid, and graph, also 18. And those two come with a pen. And then if you want to add additional pages, we also have an expansion pack where you can add another 10 line, another 10 dot grid, or another 10 graph. So really helpful, especially once you get into high school and you have lots of different subjects that probably all in one notebook. But there's still some big 3-ring binder fans out there that we've run into with this product. Peachy folders. I'm not sure if I
haven't heard of them.
I don't Peachy folders. It's Cornell stuff. You know that comes up a lot. Will you? So Penny Lewis is asking, will you ever make a Cornell note style page? That seems to come up a lot, right?
And we do have Cornell Notes templates for both the Rocketbook Orbit and the Rocket Pro, which was recently released. I don't believe we have a Cornell Notes dedicated notebook though.
Right, not yet, but good plug for ideas.getrocketbook.com. Enter it in, or actually probably upload it. Oh, there it is. Just wow, it's like magic. That's not that's not magic. That's Rocketbook.
So Barbara comment that she still has her first original Trapper Keeper. My gosh, imagine if you kept a hold of that, it'd be a collector's item. Well, maybe these filler papers will be a collector item someday too. Get them now.
Yeah,
the first editions.
Awesome. Yes. And also just another reminder for our callers, please don't forget our viewers, please don't forget to call in, ask us any questions you have about the teacher planner, filler paper, any back to school tips, or if you just want to talk Trapper Keepers with us, we'd love to as well. Actually, speaking of our viewers, we have a tip from a real teacher, not to discredit you, Professor LeMay, but Miss B. We have a video from her a little bit on how she shares her class notes.
Hi, this is Julie from Oregon. I wanted to share my Rocketbook tip. So I have created a class notes page in my class website. In here, I have a tab for each of my grade levels that I'm going to be teaching. And then there's a place here that we can upload the notes so that you just take a picture at the end of the day, or ideally have a student take a picture of those notes. And then they will show up in a folder just like this, organized with the name of the class and the date. Have a great day and keep on keeping on.
Nice.
It's great.
Seeing fellow educators creating tips.
Yes. And filler paper is available on getrocketbook.com as well as Amazon, right? My Amazon expert Peter. Yes, thank you.
Yes. both filler paper and the teacher planner are available on our website and Amazon.com. Wherever you prefer to shop, you'll be able to find Rocketbook products there. I do want to take a momentary pause from these awesome tools and tips to plug something pretty huge. We're currently running one of the biggest giveaways we've ever ran. It's the Rocket versus Reality giveaway. We're giving away $3,000 to students who can get creative. And we all love getting creative here. Plug-in students, school season starting up. So we want to celebrate. We want to have a big giveaway. And as hip as we are, we're sending it around TikTok. I know we have a pretty awesome presence there. I know Joe and Jake have both had some pretty popular videos that you may have seen on the trending page. So we're
some more popular than others, yeah.
I'm no Jake Epstein on this. I must tip my hat.
Yeah, Jake, do you remember how many views you tipped out at? I think it's over a million.
Why would I remember something like that? I think it was 3.3 million.
Okay. Oh, sorry. But yeah. Anyway, we're hoping to kind of recreate that spark, and we're going to have any student can make a TikTok showing their expectations versus reality of the back to school season, and then upload it to getrocketbook.com/rocket versus reality. That's Rocket vs Reality. And then the 3 videos with the most votes will win up to $1,500 each that can be spent on tuition, textbooks, and more. So yeah, follow that link at the bottom. I'm sure we'll be distributing it on our social channels as well. But it's an awesome way to celebrate the back to school season, to get some awesome online support, and just who can't use a little bit of pocket change for back to school.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Joe. You are exempted. You can. Joe's a big TikToker. You cannot. You cannot enter the contest.
The ideas are starting. All right. Ooh, we have an example entry. Let's check it out.
Oh.
This is my back to school expectation. And this is my back to school reality.
Whoa. That's intense.
That is a high bar. That is a high bar. Wow. Yes. Looking forward to seeing those videos. Great.
Awesome.
Make sure let's make sure we get the URL up there again before we.
Yes, that's getrocketbook.com/rocket versus reality. So yeah, you can find more details on that page as well. Let's dive back into some awesome tools and tips. We've gone over the teacher planner. We've gone over filler paper. Barbara kind of teased this a little bit earlier, but let's spend some time and talk a bit more about Rocketbook cloud cards. Oh, and a little promo. Don't forget to call in.
Yeah, there you go. At the risk of repeating myself, Rocketbook cloud cards, they are Rocketbook styled index cards or index styled Rocketbook cards. I don't know. And they have lines on the front, Epstein.grid on the back, with a title bar on top that you can use to transcribe the title. We also have a study mode in the app, which is perfect for. No, Joe, I think you're using this to do some quizzes with your kids. Yes.
Yeah, study mode's amazing. You as you scan in each side of the card, it pairs them together. So your experience in the app is such that when you can tap on it, just like flipping a card, and you can go from hola to hello and back and forth right inside the app.
It's great. And we see a lot of people using it with cloud cards. It's a perfect application, but it's also super useful, again, just for short form note taking. I know that sounds crazy if you have a Rocketbook in front of you, but it's just so easy to grab one off your desk or out of your backpack and just take a quick note, do a quick diagram. And so it's an office favorite. And there's a 40 pack and an 80 pack, and the 80 pack comes with black and green cloud cards, and the app will recognize each one individually. So study mode will work across your entire 80 pack. So that should be enough for your next vocab test, right, Professor Joe?
Study mode is a really. Sorry, Joe.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I was saying study mode, it's a really cool feature in our app, but there's a whole bunch of other really cool features in our app, including the one featured in a tip video we actually had sent in from another teacher about how he uses the Rocketbook app to create GIFs for his class.
My favorite hack with my Rocketbook notebook is sending kids GIFs. I'm a physics teacher, and oftentimes when I'm showing kids how to solve a problem, I need them to see it in steps, right? I got multiple equations, there's a lot of math. I'm doing one thing at a time as I solve for an unknown variable. And with my Rocketbook notebook, I can use the different colors to color code my steps, and then I scan each one individually, and the app builds it as a GIF for me, and then the kids can see the solution a step at a time over and over again on loop. It's awesome.
Oh, that is so awesome.
That's great. That's a nice magic trick.
The GIF feature in the app, I feel like it's kind of it's a little known feature that not everyone uses, but when you start using it, it's really helpful just how to break down steps like that, show examples, create a little bit of animation. It's also, we have some help center content on that too if you're curious on how to get started with it. But it's really as simple as opening up your destination screen in your app and just setting your file type to GIF, and then just scanning a series of images for each step of that GIF. And when you upload those images, they're stacked into one file. And creates that looping video like Mr. Wright described.
Awesome.
So yeah, please don't forget to call in if you have any questions. Love to chat more tools and tips for the back to school season or anything Rocketbook related at all. Don't forget cloud cards as well as filler paper and the Rocketbook teacher planner, all available on both GetRocketbook.com and Amazon.com. Wherever you prefer to shop, you get your Get Rocketbook products there. So I think we actually have some more tools to cram in here. And a really great demonstration for the multi-subject notebook about the myriad of tools. We can fit a whole bunch of stuff in here as well.
Yeah, the multi-subject notebook. Man, this product came out with a fast start out of the gates. It's so popular so quickly. Our users, our customers were asking, we want a notebook with even more pages. Can you imagine? You can reuse this almost like it has thousands of pages, but we want even more. So no problem. We doubled the pages of a normal Rocketbook notebook. There are 70 pages on it. There are multiple sections for students in their for various classes, like you've seen in traditional multi-subject notebooks. And it's great for keeping notes, different class periods. You're gonna love it.
It is great. I think it's probably it's my guess for like the big notebook of this year. People were always requesting more pages in our notebooks, even though they're all minimalist. The multi-subject, adding the pages is just really answers a big request that we've had for a long time. Also, you forgot to mention, Joe, the dividers are removable, so you can actually customize your notebook. Now, in a normal multi-subject notebook, you can, the dividers are bound in, sort of forced to have equal size subjects in each one. And the product team stuck to their guns on this one and fought the suits and said they have to be configurable. It's a Rocketbook. Everything's configurable in a Rocketbook. You're supposed to be able to wipe it away and start with a brand new notebook. And so part of that is being able to move the dividers around and allow you to control how big each section is within the notebook. The dividers are also come with some labels that you can apply to them and label it for your class or your work subject.
Yeah, and those notebooks are shipped with 4 dividers, but you can use as many or as little as you want in there to create the perfect number of subjects for you for what you're working with as well.
So dynamic.
It's a great one.
I love the multi-subject note. We have a question from JB. Do you have the PDF templates with the integrated title bar on top? We don't have those on our site, but that's a great call out, JB. I think it could be a great place to feature, show out some of those new features. Title bar, maybe even our we have the new smaller logos, a little more streamlined page, and maybe even smart tags too.
Yeah, those PDFs need an update. Thank you for the.
You guys know? Do you remember what the link to the free PDF pages are online? There we go. pdfs.getrocketbook.com. All right, we'll get working on some refreshed new templates up there, so you can test it out. Try before you buy if you'd like.
For those of you who don't know, we do offer those free templates on our site, so you can print off a Rocketbook page. Try it out. Download our app, which is also 100% free. So just to kind of get a feel for the whole system and just see how awesome it is before you even make a purchase of a notebook.
Yeah, with the idea of freshening those up for sure.
Yeah, and when you're ready to make a purchase of a notebook, don't forget that Rocketbook products are available on both GetRocketbook.com and Amazon.com. We have one right here. When is the Rocketbook Pro due to be released in the UK, please? I've been using my Fusion for the past couple of years, and I love it. Well, Jody, thank you for using your Fusion. We really appreciate it. Do we have a direct timeline on when we're going to get the Pro to the UK?
Unfortunately, I see you brought Sarita back. But let's put her on the spot. Sarita, if you don't know, I'm happy to address it. I think that there are still some Rocketbook Pros available for purchase on Amazon and GetRocketbook.com. Limited selection. We are building more, as well as taking into account some feedback as we're getting with this first run of Rocketbook Pros. To answer your question, it's most likely going to be the beginning of 2023. Possibly the end of this year. We would love to make it available by the end of the year for obvious reasons, because everyone loves Rocketbook as a gift, but it's looking like it's going to be early 2023.
Definitely something exciting to look out to. Oh, another question. Can we purchase the divider separately? This is a popular one that we've heard a lot.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Sarita, I think the answer is not yet, but soon. Is that correct?
That is correct. We have been hearing this a lot, so continue to post this idea on ideas.getrocketbook.com. We definitely listen to users for what we should release next, and this has seemed to be a popular one. So keep pushing this out there, and we'll see how quickly you can make it happen.
Sarita, I have a follow-up also from ideas.getrocketbook.com. Do we have any plans to make smaller dividers for the executive size books?
So that has also been a thought recently we've seen some requests for making an exec size of the multi-subject. So that's also an idea that's been circulating on the product team. So no plans right now, but maybe soon.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Yes, but letter size dividers separately coming soon. So yeah, keep the ideas and the upvotes coming into ideas.getrocketbook.com, please. We do pay very close attention and discuss that internally on a regular basis. So appreciate it.
And feel free to call into the show and discuss them with us now as well. We'd love to chat. So I guess we can just keep moving with the products. Another awesome product for the classroom are Rocketbook beacons. I don't know where Jake. Where should we start with beacons?
Rocketbook beacons. They are restickable orange whiteboard corners that you stick to the corner of any whiteboard, and essentially turns your whiteboard into a Rocketbook page. So you put the beacons up, scan your whiteboard after a long meeting, a brainstorm, or a class. And the Rocketbook app can scan, it sees the beacons and can scan your whiteboard from any angle. It auto crops and color pops, as we say, so it's more crisp and vibrant than the real thing. And then it allows you to share that scan to a Google Drive folder or cloud, or really any cloud storage. And so it's perfect for remote students or kids out sick in the classroom. Also great at work as well, in a conference room, to share your whiteboard live with other people who might be remote. And the beacons, since they're stickers and they are removable, has like a micro suction film on the back, or like a sticky silicone, and so you can change the shape of them depending on the size of your whiteboard or what part of the whiteboard that you'd like to scan.
It's like one of our highest rated products. It's incredibly popular among users who have them, and I think one of the reasons is it's one of the cool use cases for it. If anyone's ever been like writing on a whiteboard and wishes they could just share it with somebody who isn't in the room, maybe they're just on the phone or something like that, you can enable Snapcast mode. So every time you scan in your whiteboard, it updates a web page. You just share that link with any friend, and they can follow along, kind of like a Zoom or like a Google Hangout for your whiteboard. But it's every time you hold up your phone to scan it in, boom, it updates it pretty much in real time. And then you can write and update, and people can follow along and know what you're posting and keep following along in real time with your whiteboard. It's super dynamic and cool.
Yeah. It's been the beacons. They've been around for a few years, and as Joe mentioned, people love them. People use them. They really stick with it. Very sticky product. That's a sticker pun. But fun historical note. We actually, Joe, remember we came up with beacons. We even filmed the video for it before the Rocketbook Core. It was called the Rocketbook Everest at the time. But what happens was we went on Shark Tank, and they laughed at our microwavable notebook, and so we decided to push the moisture to erase notebook ahead of beacons. So yeah, just
great little history lesson there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Professor.
I was watching the video for it's real, Professor at Rocketbook. You can be Professor.
Snapcast is an awesome feature that started originally with the beacons, but after hearing feedback that people wanted to use it more than just for their whiteboard scans, we actually expanded it to notebook scans as well. And Mr. Landrum, another friend of Rocketbook and teacher, actually uses Snapcast with his notebook for his classroom. And he actually did a pre-recorded video for us to share.
Hi, I'm Jacob Landrum. I'm the theater teacher here at River Road Middle School in Amarillo, Texas, and this is how I do Snapcast and Google Meets at the same time to teach some of my distance learners some things I want them to watch and be able to ask questions. So the first thing I do is I start a Google Meets, get them all in there, and then I start sharing my screen and push out the link to my Snapcast using the Rocketbook app. So I have my phone set up like this. If you have a more elegant tripod, that's fine too. And so as it's scanning, I have my basic layout here, and then I'm just going to take a different pin and just show how I'd have my actors come in and off the screen, or off the stage, stuff like that. You could use this in a lot of variations, like if you're in geography, or if you're doing any kind of live math. And what's cool is that they can see what I'm writing, and that if they're in the meets, they can still hear what I'm saying. So this makes it good for everybody. And Snapcast constantly updates. And then once you're done, you can go ahead and just upload all of those snaps, or the most important ones that show your finished product, onto your Google Classroom, or wherever you have class.
It's great.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
Big shout out to Mr.
Yeah.
Landrum too. He's a repeat appearance. Love seeing him. Thank
We
you.
actually have another caller on the line too, so we can. We're inviting Cody to the show.
Hey,
Cody,
Cody.
welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, thanks for
Thanks for
joining
joining us.
So, I want to say I really like the teacher planner. It really is awesome. I haven't used it yet because school hasn't started for us until after Labor Day. I'm looking forward to a lot of it. The thing I wanted to mention was I'm a special education teacher, so it's very difficult because we are so individualized. So I really like the Panda Planner for kids because it's got the goals and objectives, and it also has, those priorities for the morning routine, the wins, the things we need to focus on and work on. I had a question for how can you make the paperwork and permission forms and that nightmare go away? I mean, I am so tired of the filing cabinets, and we keep using these, and I absolutely hate them. We have students that are always constantly, that history of every single year, and I'd like to spend more time teaching.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, and thank you, by the way, for being a customer of the Teacher Planner. And worth mentioning, Panda Planner is a wonderful planner as well for, like you said, goal setting and finding happiness. And feel free to get out the Sharpie and hack the last few pages of the Teacher Planner too, if there's anything that you'd like to add in, like affirmations. But back to your question, I'm super curious. What are some of the things that are in your filing cabinet? Like, what type of stuff do you have to store from the students?
So for the students, we have to actually store the individual education planner programs that we have to do. So the goals and objectives, we have our annual IEP meeting, we have an initial evaluation, re-eval. So we have a lot of that stuff. We also need to have the progress monitoring, which, I want to do that with the Panda Planner. But the biggest issue for me is, when I get something back from parents, I want it to not go on my desk because I'm going to end up losing it, And so I always have this big maze of papers on my desk, and my students are like, wow, you need to clean your desk. And I'm like, no, it's horrible. But to have something like that, to do permission forms, we have to have parents have their signature to consent to have those services start every 14 days. And so it would be awesome to just send the notebook home, have them sign it, and then be able to just, wipe it away, but also be able to just take that picture and keep it into the cloud. Or is there a way to do even I noticed there's 6 or 7 but different places you can categorize things. Do you plan on expanding that? I feel like maybe I need one icon per student at this point, but
Yeah. Good. I'm wrapping my love a good problem solving session on the live streams, and I love wrapping my head around these problems. I'm sure Joe has some thoughts as well. A couple things. First of all, the students can get Rocketbooks. That's one way to solve it. Then everything can be digital, going back and forth, of course. And we do have, I should say, we do have a number of classrooms that have done that. But beyond that, remember just about the filing of each one. If you have transcription turned on in your app, which I'm sure you do, and you scan them, they do become searchable. That we embed a transparent text into the PDF of the transcribed words. So assuming that it has the student's name on it or the subject on it, and they all get dumped into one big permission slips drive. If you search, inside of Google Drive or Dropbox or wherever, it can actually find it, and it feels sort of magical because you're like, how the heck did it find it? But it's actually finding this transparent text that's embedded. Professor, bless you, Professor Joe.
Thank you. Well, As you kind of alluded to, we've got the 7 symbols on the bottom, which would be perfect if you had only 7 students, right? If you're using, et cetera. But one, I don't know, it's maybe a hack I could think of is if you have a product that has a smart tagging system, potentially you could use the tagging as the last name of the student, something like that to help you, automatically put it in the right place, but also with a tag that could be filterable as well, which might help you with your filing system.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Yes, the smart tags turn up as like subjects inside of the history screen of the app. So that's also a good suggestion, Joe.
It sounds like we need to do a deep dive with a teacher such as yourself to understand, could we design a product or a digital feature set that would really make your life easier?
It's definitely an issue that's not constrained to teachers as well. I know I've heard from a lot of individuals in sales or any like type of client relations where they have a large number of individuals they work with. I send files to more folders, and yeah, I do agree with what both you guys are saying that the best options typically to use that base folder and then share the files into there and create some sort of titling system, whether it be by student name or by date, whatever the easiest thing for you, and then to also utilize the awesome OCR Smart Search feature just to be able to quickly find stuff. I think the other end of your question was about scanning specific forms. We're definitely working on like some scan anything software to try to like picture everything else. We do also have those, like we spoke on with the past caller, those free Rocketbook templates you can download and print off. And we have some content too on how you can customize those to make forms that you can print off with the Rocketbook markings that can then be scanned with the Rocketbook app and distributed to destinations that way. So your forms can be turned into things that can interact with Rocketbook in your notebooks.
Yeah, are they editable? I remember at one point we were thinking about having editable Google Docs so you could put things over them. I mean, you could get one of our free PDFs and then load that into an editable thing, and then just print that out for everybody, and then when they all come back from parents, you could scan them in accordingly. That's one way to go about it.
Yeah,
definitely some stuff to think of.
Yeah. We'd love to get more information from you, though, and especially if you have any specific ideas as to how to tackle it. We are always open to customer input. So we appreciate it, Cody.
Yeah. We definitely invite you to send us an email at hello@rocketbook.com. We'll be happy to chat further about this.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for calling, Cody.
Thank you, Cody.
Thanks, Cody. Thanks for all the work you do with kids.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think that's the full gambit of our back to school products. Of course, as you guys mentioned, there's no real limit to which Rocketbook products can be used for what. Panda Planner is another great example of something that can be used for really anyone, anywhere. But yeah, don't forget all products are available at rocketbook.com as well as Amazon. Thank you so much for all of our educators who helped inspire and design these products. Thanks for everyone who viewed and called in. And also just a quick plug to our Rocketbook Teachers group on Facebook. If you're a teacher and you're not already in that group, please do check it out and join if you're interested in checking out the content that other Rocketbook educators have used or sharing your own examples. It's where we've gotten in touch with a lot of the educators that we displayed in our quick made videos today. So it's an awesome community with a bunch of awesome tools and tips on how to use Rocketbook in the education space. Before we head out, Professor LeMay, do you have any parting wisdom that you'd like to share with us?
Do not go gentle into that good night.
No, don't.
Old age should burn and rave at the close of day. Rage.
Don't.
Rage against
Just
the tide of life.
This is time. That just means it's time to Dylan. It's time to go.
Right.
Thank you for your insight, Professor LeMay.
Thanks, Professor LeMay. Thank you, Jake. Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you all again next time. Bye.
Thank you.